Don't do distraction. I'm coming back.
Listen, it's Juice and Lou reporting to you live. With yo, what it do? It's your boys Juice and Lou, and we back here with another episode for y'all, man. You already know what we here to talk about, man. My Suns, J. Lou's Clippers. It's just a beautiful sight, man. I mean, it's just like Deandre Ayton, man. I say he's gonna be the X factor. Now look at him. He dunked on Zubac 3 times last night. One being a game winner. Man, let's go ahead. Let's dive into it. So last night, the Clippers and Suns played their game 2 matchup, and it was looking pretty close. Paul George didn't have a good game. Devin Booker didn't have a good game. He left for a little bit because, you know, Patrick Beverley, he's a menace to society, so he was out for a little bit. But the MVP of this game, Cameron Payne.
Oh my God, dude.
Cameron Payne.
Jesus.
Out here messing up both LA teams. Let me tell you something. Cameron Payne. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna get to the stats yet. Cameron Payne was definitely the MVP of this game, though. But Devin Booker, everybody on the Suns. Jay Crowder only had 2 points, but hey, you know, it was a really close game. Suns duked it out. They squeaked out of there with a 1-point win off playoff P. You know, I think he was watching the videos. He saw I was giving him too much praise, and he was like, "All right, bet. I'm feeling myself, yeah." And then he went out and went full playoff P mode, especially at the free throw line. Especially. Now let's go ahead. Let's hop into these stats, man. Clippers. I'm gonna start with you first. Go ahead, start with you. Paul George, 41 minutes, 26 points. Okay. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Okay. 10 for 23. It looked worse during the game, but 1 for 8 from 3. Jeez. 1 for 8 from 3. 5 for 10 from the free throw line. 5 for 10. You didn't even have to make them both, PG. You didn't even have to make them both. Make one. We'd be in overtime. Just make one. Man. Reggie Jackson, 19 points. He did good. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Not bad. Zubac, 14 and 11. Not bad. Patrick Beverley, the menace to society. 6 points, 4 rebounds in 26 minutes. You know what I mean? Well, what more do you want from him? What more can you get from him? Not a lot. Marcus Morris, 7 points. I told you, he's not going off like he did in Game 7 again. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. 3 for 11. Now that's the Marcus Morris on the Game 6. That's what it was. My mistake. He's not going off like how he did in Game 6. In Game 7 against the Mavs. That's what I meant. Game 7 against the Mavs. Game 6 against the Jazz. It's not happening again. He'll probably get, you know, a 25-point game like one time this series. That's it. That's all you're gonna get from him. Terrence Mann. But I tell you, put somebody in his face. You put somebody in his face, yeah. He thought he was about to come out here and see Rudy Gobert. Nah. Luke Kennard. 18 minutes, had 10 points. Why didn't y'all play him from the jump? Y'all should have been playing him.
Bad defense.
Bad defense, but that's my shooter. That's my shooter. And Rondo, playoff Rondo, 8 points. And Nicholas Batum, minutes dropped. Only had 3 points. And DeMarcus Cousins in 3 minutes. This why. This is my thing. In 3 minutes, he had 2 points. Why are you only playing him 3 minutes?
His defense not that good anymore.
But he's a body. He's a bigger body than Zubac.
Yeah.
Why was DeMarcus Cousins guarding the inbound pass? And Zubac, knowing that he couldn't guard Ayton for his life the whole game, why would you have him still on there? I'd rather have Zubac get the inbound and put the big body DeMarcus Cousins on Ayton. Because Ayton going because DeMarcus Cousins, he not gonna let Ayton just go up and dunk on him. He at least gonna give him an elbow or something.
And it would have been a foul.
But hey, I'd rather you shoot free throws and miss one. Is Ayton a great free throw shooter?
It's decent.
Decent. At least 1 for 2. At least. But the thing is, on that game-winning play, Zubac wasn't even facing Ayton. He was fighting through a screen by Booker. Tough screen. Great pass by Dre Crowder. Great pass and a great finish. But he wasn't even facing him. His back was turned. He was jumping up like what? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then he was trying to get a goaltend. Rondo was coming off the bench talking about some. What do you do? What are you doing that for? For what? It was clear as day that was in. Clear as day. Let's go over to the Suns, shall we? Let's go over to the Suns, man. Suns. Devin Booker. Excuse me, Kobe Booker. In 40 minutes, 20 points, 4 and 5. 5 for 16, 1 for 3 from 3. Not the best shooting display, but he did it, you know. Teammates stepped up. Cameron Payne, the MVP. In 37 minutes, 9 points. It felt like he could, man. 1 rebound, 9 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Cameron Payne. Didn't y'all used to have him? Y'all used to have him.
Told you, once everybody leave Westbrook, they get better. He's like a teacher.
Okay. 12 for 24, that's 50%, and 2 for 8 from 3. Not the best shooting display from the 3-point line, but he still is the MVP of this game. Mikal Bridges, 5 points. Not the greatest. Not the greatest. Jay Crowder, not the greatest. Deandre Ayton, the X Factor. 34 minutes, 24 and 14, 1 steal, 1 block. And only missed 3 shots. Only missed 3 shots. It's looking real. It's looking real. Cameron Johnson, 11 points. Dario Saric, 11 points. So, my thing is with this game, right? None of these teams played good. But the better team will still came out on top.
Right.
Now, it's like how I said with Philly, right? You lost back to back, and now you're drained. Now you're tired. Now you lost hope, and now you're about to lose. And they lost. Playoff P. That was the game. That was the game y'all needed to win before going back home. Y'all needed to win that game. Y'all needed those free throws. Especially without CP3, y'all wanted that game. Y'all needed that game to take a win in their house without CP3. You needed that. And then you fumbled. You fumbled the bag. Now you're down 0-2. Okay, you've been in this predicament before. But the Mavs and Jazz aren't the Suns. I ain't gonna speak too much though, because I don't want to jinx nothing. I've had bad memories with the Clippers being down 0-2 in the past 2 series.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to speak too much on it. But I will say That was the game that y'all needed. Especially if you don't know when Kawhi gonna come back and you don't know when CP3 gonna come back. But it's looking like CP3 gonna come back before Kawhi. For sure.
Yeah.
That was the game you needed.
Okay.
Game you needed.
You done talking dumbness?
Man.
Now, let me tell you why. If I'm a Clippers player, I wouldn't be worried. Like I said, every time Clippers lose on the road, it's close. It's not like they're getting blown out like the Bucks were against the Nets on the road. And the Bucks still won that series. I mean, of course, because Kyrie went down and Harden. But it didn't, you saw it didn't demoralize them mentally. They easily went back home. I mean, not easily, but they went back home. Bruce Brown blew the layup, of course, in game 3. They could have went up 3-0. But that's besides the point. With the Clippers, I mean, you brought up how, like you said, the Bucks, I mean, not the Bucks, the Sixers, they got demoralized. But look at who their coach is, Doc Rivers. He's choking. Doc Rivers been choking since they won a ring and since he left the Celtics, honestly. And now, look who the Clippers coach is. The dude who took over for Doc Rivers, the choker. The dude who's led so many comebacks, I can't even keep count anymore. Ty Lue. Honestly, he's probably top 5 coach in my opinion. Probably top 5. He probably like 5. The only coach I wouldn't say he's better than, you got Steve Kerr, but he's not in the playoffs. Greg Popovich, not in the playoffs. Tom Thibodeau, not in the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra, not in the playoffs. Yeah, he's 5th. He's 5th. Wow. So right now, I think Tyler's just gonna gather the troops again.
Monty.
Honestly, nah. Monty, it took him to get Chris Paul 13 years later to be relevant again. Well, I mean, they were solid in the bubble last year when they went 8-0. That's about it. Seems like he's only good with Chris Paul. I mean, he was the assistant with the Pelicans when they had AD. But of course, you saw what happened. AD won it out. And now, ironically, Zion wants out too. But that's for a different day. So, with the Clippers, in my opinion, you're not supposed to win the 2 home games anyways. It's like a cherry on top if you win in the opponent's house. But they lost. First game, they lost in a couple seconds. I knew the Suns were going to win that after the run they went on to end the first game. Like Booker, 40-point triple-double, of course. This game, you can't let Cameron Payne drop. Dang needs 30. I mean, I know y'all had Reggie Jackson on him most of the game, and Luke Kennard was in. When he was in, he was on him. That's why I was talking about his defense.
No excuse.
But come on, Cameron Payne. I remember him as doing his dancing on the sideline with Westbrook, just dancing. That's literally what he was doing in OKC. That's literally all he was doing. Now, what is it? 5 years later, he's in the playoffs, conference finals, hooping people up, dropping almost 30. So I mean, shout out to him though. You know, he's worked on his game, of course, to get this spot. He earned it. But come on, Clippers, come on. Without his 30, they probably barely get 90 points that game because it was only Booker and Ayton who showed up. The role players, I mean, you've seen Mikal Bridges, he shot like 2 for 7 that game. Jay Crowder, he didn't even make a field goal. So, y'all literally had to hold Cameron Payne to a normal Cameron Payne. Like if Cameron Payne was normal, they literally probably only get 90 points. Then Paul George, yeah. See, I would only be worried if I was the Clippers if mentally affected Paul George missing those free throws and then the lob over Zubac, who was getting dunked on a lot that game by Ayton. That's the only reason I would be worried if I'm a Clippers fan or player. It has to be mental. But the basketball aspect, you're barely losing. Like I said, just a few adjustments, which I know Ty Lue will make at home. Yeah, it's gonna be hard without Kawhi, especially if CP3 plays Game 3. I don't know how they'll win, but if CP3 doesn't, I think they can still win both games at home. So I'm looking forward to Game 3. I didn't watch Game 4 a lot, but I did see a lot of plays and highlight reels, of course, the ending, of course, which was unexcusable. I mean, I was literally telling Justin, and like we was talking, like I was wondering, why is DeMarcus Cousins even on the floor and Zubac at the same time? Like they're both slow big men. I mean, I guess Zubac's height. What I would have done is I would have just held Zubac in the paint, like just put him under the basket, just stand there. Put DeMarcus Cousins' body towards the basket because he was just standing in front of Crowder. I would have put his body towards the basket, and then had the other three players guard who was on Booker. I think it was, I want to say, Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Pat Bev was on Booker. I would just have Pat Bev follow Booker if he try to run out off the screen, catch the ball, of course. Then PG, I mean, Mikal Bridges had a bad night. He could have sagged off a little bit. And then Jay Crowder could have sagged off him a little bit, whoever was on. I think it was Batum who was on Jay Crowder. So they could have played it way better. I don't know why Rondo wasn't in coaching them up either. I mean, he was on the sideline coaching them up, but it's better. He's an on-court general, in my opinion. It's just like, come on, y'all really, like, it would have been a cherry on top, man. 1-1 going back to your house.
They needed that.
But like I said, I've seen the Clippers come back from worse circumstances, literally this offseason. So I wouldn't be surprised if they win 2 games. Some adjustments are made. The Suns end up losing somehow if Chris Paul doesn't play, of course. So I'm still roll with the Clippers, man, until it's over.
I will say this. Don't let the Suns take one in your house. Especially this next game. Because I don't let them go up 3-0. You'll probably steal Game 4. But if you go back to Game 5, the momentum is already in the Suns' way.
Yeah, you're right.
It's already in the Suns' way. So do not go down 3-0. It's as simple as that. Because it's cool and all. You can come back down 2-0. That's cool. But 3-0, that's barely been done in history.
All right. You're right. Hasn't been done. Hasn't been done at all in NBA history. It's been done in other sports, but not NBA.
If you go down 3-0, you think Ty Lue gonna lead that comeback?
Shoot. If there is a coach, he's one of them. He's one of them.
Ty Lue does that. I will get. Listen. Listen to me, y'all. I'm putting this out there. If the Suns go up 3-0 and the Clippers come back from that and force a game 7, they will have to win. They will have to win. If they force a game 7, I'll get a Paul George jersey and I'll get a Kawhi jersey.
And you gotta go bald.
I'll get a Kawhi jersey and a Paul George jersey. I promise.
Clippers edition jerseys too.
I promise. Clippers edition. It don't matter. I promise I will get their jerseys.
I don't want them to do it now.
Yo, really? Okay. We gonna see about that because it's not gonna happen. But that's gonna wrap up this episode, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And let us know what you think down in the comments. Is it looking real for the Clippers? What's it looking like, man? Yeah. But till tomorrow, Game 1, Hawks and Bucks, man. It just feels crazy saying that. Hawks and Bucks, Game 1 is tonight. We're gonna get that recap for you tomorrow. But until then, It's your boys, Juice and Lou. And we out of here. Peace.